traveling light. I'm almost finished already, in fact.
You're really going to go through with this, then?
I am. But before I go, there is one small issue I'd like your assistance with. Well, two, in fact.
If it's with... in my power to help you, I will.
It's the children. I refuse to let them share in my disgrace. And if I leave them here, they surely will. Our friendship would see them ostracized forever. But I can't take them with me either. A place where they are certain to be safe, and provided for, and loved. The Hideaway.
Of course. The children would be more than welcome.
Thank you, Clive. I will not forget this.
Lubor, are you still here?
What is it, Ferda? You look pale.
There's been a flood in the Velcroy, a damn big one. The League of Outlaws encampment was completely submerged in ether.
What?
Every last one of the bastards has turned. And they're headed this way.
Bandits are one thing, but Akashic bandits are quite another. The town guard won't stand a chance against them. We need to evacuate. There's no time to lose. Ferda, gather the men. The Akashic may strike at any moment. We must make ready to cover the townspeople's escape. Well, what are you waiting for?
Yes, my lord.
Clive, change of plan. The children stay with me for now. I need you to find Conrad and Natalie. Tell them to prepare for a full and immediate evacuation.
Understood.
I'll do what I can to convince everyone else. Wish me luck. You have to listen to me. They're coming.
How long do we have until...
Why do they always have to make such a...
Ah, it's you.
What do you want, Lord Underhill?
To pass on an important message. There's been an ether flood out in the Velcroy. The camp where the so-called League of Outlaws were gathering has been swallowed. They're no longer just bandits. They're Akashic now, and they could be here at any moment. You need to begin preparing for a full-scale evacuation right away.
Oh, do we? And who was it who gave you this disturbing news, might I ask?
Lubor, perhaps? The man spreading the same poison out in the square as we speak. You may believe his lies, my lord, but we know better.
But why would he lie about something like this?
Some twisted attempt at revenge, perhaps. If he had not been unmasked, he may well have been elected our leader. A great honor for one of his kind. One he might well feel aggrieved at having been denied.
Lord Underhill, forgive me, but it has become all too evident where your sympathies lie. Lubor cannot be trusted, and neither, therefore, can you.
You may not trust me, but for the sake of your people, ask yourselves if there is any chance that this is true.
There isn't. You can be certain of that. Now be off with you.
You're making a mistake.
Come, Clive. If our words will not move them, then we must find another way to help save the town.
You're right. Let's speak to Lord Ferda.
What's Lubor raving about now?
Lord Ferda.
Cid, what's wrong?
I went to warn Conrad and Natalie about the Akashic, but they wouldn't listen. They've convinced themselves that nothing Lubor says can be trusted.
The bloody fools.
Which means the town guard can't be counted on for support. But I can. If there's anything I can do to help you defend Dalamil, you only have to ask.
I appreciate it.
Cid! Ferda! I've been looking for you everywhere.
Victor? I thought you'd left.
I couldn't abandon a friend in need. And Lubor is in need at this very moment. Come quickly.
You have to believe me! The Akashic are coming! They don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't tire, and they don't care who they kill. They're unlike anything that's come before. There will be no parley, no mercy granted! We may have saved the town once, but this is different. I do not ask that you forgive me, but please believe me. If you do not run, you will die. You will all fucking die!
You'd like that, wouldn't you, bearer?
Yeah, with us out of the way, your kind will be free to claim Dalamil for yourselves.
You should run!
Run, bearer!
Yeah, run!
Run!
Far away!
Run! Just go on. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes! Go!
Come on, then.
Lubor.
Wait. Someone's coming.
Stop! You're hurting him! What did Lubor ever do to you? He solves all your stupid problems, and he keeps all of you safe. You know there's nothing he wouldn't do for this town. Who was it who made that cleaver you use every day, Conrad?
And what about your counting table, Natalie? Who fixed that?
Whose men make sure the streets are clean so all your boots don't get dirty?
Who spends all day, every day making sure things run smoothly around here? And none of you ever say thank you. Ever.
But did Lubor ever complain? Well, does he ever stop smiling?
He keeps this whole place going. And you act like it doesn't even exist.
Lubor, we have heard enough.
Wait!
We will not run. The town guard will not abandon the very place it is sworn to protect.
And I will not give up for lost the stores that we labored so hard to fill.
So tell us, how do you propose we deal with these Akashic of yours?
We won't run, but we will fight.
All right, then. Fine.
Gather round if you don't want to die.
Allow me to explain the situation. The Ether Flood occurred near the village of Cheratina, deep in the Velcroy. The place had been abandoned for years, until the League of Outlaws decided to make it their base of operations. Now they're all turned, and if the Scouts' reports are correct, heading in this direction.
They are mindless monsters, driven only by hate and rage. And they are utterly unpredictable. With the bandits, we at least knew how and where they were likely to attack. When these creatures come, Dalimil will have the bitterest fight it has ever faced on its hands. The town guard will muster at the north gate. The rest of us will take the south. Both forces will provide men to serve as scouts and messengers, ready to spread word of the size and nature of the Akashic force as soon as it is spotted. And as soon as it has been, we will converge on its position and see that it is driven back from Dalimil at all costs. Conrad, can I count on the support of the town guard?
Always.
I leave the selection and coordination of the messengers in your hands, Victor. And the command of our men in yours, Ferda. If you would both be so kind.
Consider it done.
As you wish.
Natalie, I would ask that you and your people have the townsfolk barricade themselves inside the bathhouse. And tell the merchant not to waste time securing anything beside the essentials. Preserving life is our one and only concern. As long as we survive, it doesn't matter what trinkets we might lose. Our riches can be regained. And if anyone doubts that, let it be known that the Briar's Kiss stands ready to cover any losses.
Very well. I shall tell them.
Where do I fit into this plan?
Where else but the most perilous place of all? I would like you to travel to the home of our erstwhile League of Outlaws, Cheratina itself. The main host is most likely still there, and Dalimil will not be safe until it is eradicated, root and branch.
A little gardening. How pleasant.
I doubt it. I have a feeling these weeds will be particularly stubborn.
Luckily, so am I.
So you are. All right then, we all know what we have to do. Now it's simply a matter of doing it. For Dalimil.
Looks like everyone's ready. I'd better not keep them waiting.
There it is. The flood.
But what's waiting for us inside? a single one alive.
Finished.
The League is disbanded. I should get back to Dalimil and see how the others fared.
All the Akashic we were able to find have been dealt with. Seems that might be the last of them.
Last of them here, perhaps.
Lubor, Sir Clive has returned.
Clive! What news from Charatina?
It's done. Root and branch.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Thank you, my lord.
Friends, the Horde has been driven back. The Akashic have been defeated. And we need not fear the arrival of any more, thanks to Clive. Victory is ours.
We bloody did it!
We saved Dalimil.
Lubor, allow me to apologize. After all you have done for this town, we should never have doubted you.
But we did. And for that we are truly sorry. We only hope that you can forgive us.
We need you, Lubor. Dalimil needs you. So, if you would still like to be considered for the position of mayor, you have our backing.
You do remember that I'm a bearer, don't you?
We do. But that is not a stain on your character. It is a stain on ours. We thought only of what we perceived bearers to be, not what you truly are. The man who saved Dalimil twice over.
I see. But I will only accept your proposal on 2 conditions.
Name them.
Firstly, that you will both do everything in your power to rally your people to my cause. If the Town Guard and the Merchants League do not accept my leadership, it will be doomed from the start. Unity is the key to defending Dalimil, and I do not doubt that we shall need to call on our combined strength again. When that time comes, I will expect us all to pull together, just as we did today.
Of course. You have our word.
And secondly, you will accept that if I am to lead you, the mistreatment of bearers must end here in Dalimil. Any bearer within our walls shall be afforded the same rights as any other citizen. They will not be judged by what they are, but who they are.
As we failed to do, and came so close to losing everything.
We agree to your conditions. And we have only one in return. That you continue to work for the good of Dalimil, as you always have.
Condition accepted. Well then, it seems my mayorship is all but confirmed. Do I get some sort of special hat? How fickle fate can be. Not so long ago, I had resigned myself to leaving Dalimil in disgrace. And now, I find myself her leader. Here. For everything.
Lubor. About the children.
Fear not. You are, of course, relieved of your responsibility. I would sooner face another horde of Akashic than see them brought up as outlaws. I'll make sure they're safe here.
I don't doubt that you will. And not just the children, but everyone in Dalimil.
I'll do my best. Can't have all your hard work going to waste.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father?
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides. Those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else? Titan's Wake is to the south of here. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed once already.
Run like the wind. Eyes peeled, Joshua.
There it is.
For House Rosfield. Nice try. Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
Welcome, welcome. Anything else? Of course.
Oh, thank the Founder you were safe. The Griffin is slain then?
And the Heartstone claimed.
This radiant luster, like frozen flame, it is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your Grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha.
Thank you, Cyril. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone... The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes, and the graven vines encircling the stone represent...
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only
if we stood together. As Phoenix and Shield. As brothers in...
Indeed. His Grace knew, but this was more. It was a promise.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast...
Forgive me, my lady. There is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued. Until Lord... He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my...
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us. For giving my service meaning.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance.
It is.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, let him see that you have received his blessing.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks.
Your father's helm is enshrined there since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it. For it too, I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Thank you, sir. Come on, Clive. He's...
Lord Marquis?
What is it?
One of our brethren lately journeyed across the strait. He sent an owl somewhat...
Was he surveying?
No. The object of his study was a savior cult that has arisen in Ash, in an ancient religion that worked by gaining an understanding of this new...
And so you sent one of your brothers to Ash?
Fully. I entrusted the mission to one of the most able of our order. Though he has been silent for some days now, yet... it seemed only right to infer, as you so earnestly advised me.
But Ash is a big play.
Perhaps. Mickleburg, it lies in if aught.
Right.
You are. Go then.
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
Save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies. Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. Perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning. this be Nickelberg?
These people aren't turned. And the village seems safe enough at least. What is going on here?
Ah, did you too heed the call?
Heed the call? No, I came here looking for someone. To be honest, I wasn't sure I'd find him here. Let alone all of you.
Is that so?
What are you doing here? Is this where you live?
It is my home. The others, they heeded the call.
You keep saying that. What do you mean?
They came here to perform the rite, just as King Barnabas instructed. This village is their altar, where they shall cast their souls upon the gentle waters and give themselves to the Lord.
Give themselves?
Oh, Lord, cleanse us of our sins.
Let us be reborn in your loving arms.
Free us from the torment of this mortal realm.
They want to be saved. Forgive me, but did another foreigner like me come here? He was probably wearing a cowl.
You mean the traveler from Storm? Yes. He's staying at my house, toward the rear of the village.
Thank you. If you don't mind, I'll go and greet him.
They seek the same salvation Barnabas did.
Bring us salvation.
At least the third chair still lives. Let's go and find him.
Let us be made pure. Let us be made divine.
Excuse me. Are you with the Undying?
I am. And so it would appear, are you?
Lord Rosfield, if I am not mistaken.
That's right. And you must be the third chair.
I am.
Cyril was worried for your safety. He sent me to find you.
Then I must apologize. I did not mean to trouble the bearer of the burning quill. Much less you, my Lord Marquis.
He said that you had failed to report. Is there a reason for that?
I came here to study the followers of this new faith. But the more I learned of them, the more my own faith began to falter. You have seen them at their prayers, have you not? They devote themselves to the veneration of their Lord with a fervor I have never seen before. Praying night and day that they might be rid of their wicked wills and reborn in their Saviour's light. Not that they might be granted respite from their worldly woes, but so that they might continue to serve him. Serve him with all of their beings. I, too, swore to devote my life to the service of my Lord and Master, but this... 'tis different. It is more. And so I would see it through to the end. See these people safe, that they might achieve their dream. That they might do their duty to their Lord. Even if it should keep me from doing my duty to mine.
You do understand what their dream is, don't you?
I do, my lord. They would cast aside their wills and become Akashic. I know that it may be hard to believe, but to these people, that is the very essence of salvation. Forgive me, my lord, but I must remain here. If you are to return to Master Cyril, I would consider it a great... Did you hear that, my lord? Something is happening.
I'll go and find out what. Stay here. An ether flood. Oh no. There must be something I can do. Echoes as well. Found her.
Ready, brother?
Ready. What now? We meet again. I've killed your kind Damn it. Don't you die. Come on, speak to me.
I had to save them, that they might have a chance to find true salvation by devoting themselves to the service of their Lord, just as I did when the Undying plucked me from the gutter and gave me a cause to believe in, a duty to serve was everything to me, and I would not deny them that fulfillment, even if they must become Akashic in order to achieve it. Forgive me, my Lord Marquis. I did not mean to trouble you with this. My findings. Could you deliver them to Master Cyril for me?
Of course. Your duty will be done.
Look, my lord. They are saved.
They are saved. Found her. I should get this report to Cyril.
My Lord Marquis, welcome back. I am glad to see you hale and whole.
I met with your third chair, Cyril.
Thank you, He remained in...
He died protecting the villagers. I buried him in Mickelberg. I'm sorry that I couldn't save...
If you could not save him...
The villagers, they prayed to their god that they might be unburdened. Then an ether flood came. Your brother sacrificed himself that they might live, even knowing that that life was death.
Then he perished defending liberty. A hero's end. For the right to choose how one dies is no less sacred.
Sid would agree. He wanted to build a world where people could die on their...
A noble ambition. To die, it matters not how misguided, only that the decision, we live according to the teachings of our order. We believe in them, we protect them, for better or worse.
But he didn't die for your creed. He died to save them, and you still believe that what he did was right.
I believe that he believed it was. We of the Undying are not slaves, and this was his will.
I'd like to know this man's name, Cyril. To know the names of all the Undying who've fallen. They died serving my house. That is my duty.
Of course. I shall fetch the Book of Martyrs. My lord, it has been, and shall ever be, the greatest honor of my life to serve House Rosfield. Though our duties may differ, and were they here, I have no doubt but that.
What do I owe the honor? What do you want? And?
If Joshua's worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him. Joshua, I read your message. You're right. Jill is different. I don't think I'd realized how different, but since we returned from Drake's spine, I've felt it more and more.
I suppose it's not hard to imagine why.
She doesn't think she belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind her she is still one of us. To let her know that we still need her, now more than ever. That you still need her. But how to do that? When last we were truly close, we were but children.
Of course. Do you remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour of the Duchy? And Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up
to see the snow, Daisy. It was the first time Father had allowed us to join him. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the pot boys combing...
In the rain. A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks before we'd even made it halfway there. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say, he was none too pleased.
Then it seems you and Jill have unfinished business. What do you say?
Man's Hill. It's not...
Oh, true. Though I suspect it is also much changed. Little in southern Rosaria remains.
You're saying I should go and scout the area for Ben?
I'm saying we should first go and see if there are actually still any snow... What would you do without me, Clive?
Your journey ends here. Quinton.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of... Go on, then. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should... and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years.
I know it's a lot to ask.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. The people of Lostwing are my family. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to...
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. If it's the vineyard, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we...
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said...
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Hap. Will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde.
I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are...
My uncle will want to know that his plan is...
And what can I do for you? I do like a customer who knows what he wants.
And how might I help the garrison today?
Too slow. these things. Uncle, the Field Marshal has
Of course he has.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port. They will await your return there.
One other?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his. But yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, the 7 high houses. Oh, of course it did take, but luckily I had...
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward, Rockford, from a horde...
It was more of a hand.
Well, the old battle axe was so she had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks, and when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to... Now, I must join us there at your earliest...
Of course,
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. 2 such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal!
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw!
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation,
nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes, and I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours, and we must not squander the chance.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Tri-Unity. Rutherford, Mike Will. Well, my boy, the stage is set.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. And there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
What do you think that thing is? And how the hell is he gonna do it?
Trouble with your gear, or... What do you want? Should last you a good while. And?
was here to meet us. Pity they don't seem fond visitors.
To me, boy!
I've had warmer welcomes.
What do you want? No scratches, right? Anything else?
First the skies, then the